Welcome to episode 104 of the Get Well With Me podcast. I am your host, Adrienne, and together we explore the healing powers of our subconscious mind while leaning in towards a healthier lifestyle. And our philosophy here is excellence, not perfection. And today I have a brief hypnosis session that I designed to help us to anchor in flow state. We've all achieved flow state at some point in our life. That experience when our focus is dialed in, our resources are on the surface, and everything is working together to achieve whatever we have set our minds to. Flow state can happen during sports, it can happen during video games, it can happen during an educational experience, when we're creating, when we're writing, when we're reading. There's so many times that we can achieve this flow state accidentally. And wouldn't it be cool if we could achieve it on purpose and tap into the moments in the past that we were able to be our very best selves when maybe even doing hard work felt easy, right? Let's do that. Before we do, I want to make sure that everyone understands what a hypnotic anchor is. And I've explained a little bit about it being an intentional trigger. But just to give you an example, I will use hypnotic anchors all the time in my life because I have this awareness of the power of my mind, and I feel like it's really silly not to use it. So when I'm experiencing something that's blissful, just as an example, when I have the opportunity to go to the spa is such an environment where everything feels good and spacious and clean, and there are certain smells and sounds, maybe water fountains and essential oils. And there is this feeling of worthiness when I'm at the spa, like I'm worth it to be here. So what I will often do is just tug on my left ear. And when I do, it takes me back into that experience. I mean, you can tell it causes me to chill for a second and breathe, which is very good for me. And just to, like, even right now, that's all activated in my mind and it feels good. So if we can anchor in moments of time that feel good and be able to achieve that state of mind and even some of those physical sensations, can you just imagine the different applications that that could be used for? So in this particular session, I will at a certain point ask you to pinch your fingers together, and that will be your anchor. That will be your intentional trigger. So if you're watching on video on Spotify or YouTube, it might look like this: your thumb and your pointer finger, just pressing them together. And I like to do it until I feel it. It doesn't have to hurt, but it needs to be a specific sensation in a specific place that you can replicate. So without further ado, let's enjoy this beautiful experience together. And perhaps this is a session, as most of them are, that would be suitable for repeat listens until you feel that your anchor is fully installed. And if one time is just right for you, then that's perfectly okay too, because you already know there is no universal hypnotic experience, and however you do it is going to be just right for you. So I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and just notice how good that already feels. Just noticing your aliveness, noticing the beating of your heart. And if you'd like to allow your eyelids to close, you may. And with your hands against your heart, you can notice your breath. You can notice that when you inhale, that it is cool and refreshing. When you exhale, it's warm and relaxing. Just notice how that exhale leads to an inhale, leads to an exhale, and the gift of your breath and how one flows to another. I'd like you to imagine, it might be familiar to you already, that happy little elevator that's right beneath your hands inside your heart. When you breathe in, the little elevator moves up, up, up towards the top of your head. And you breathe out, it moves down, 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 back into your heart space. And this happy little elevator, it calibrates as it goes, brings balance, comfort, connecting your mind and your heart as one. And I wonder if you can imagine that you are in a luscious garden where the soil is so rich and the conditions are just right to grow everything that is planted. I'd like you to imagine that I'm going to hand you a packet of seeds. It's a really special packet of seeds for your garden. And there's a seed of goodness. There's a seed of beauty. There's a seed of goodwill. A seed of peace. A seed of joy. And a seed of abundance. And if there's any other seeds that you'd like to plant in your garden, imagine that they're in this packet, that I hand you this packet of seeds, and that you go about planting them in the rich soil. We have these seeds. We intentionally plant them. We can imagine what it looks like when a seed begins to sprout automatically. It's all it knows how to do. It's what it's programmed to do. And it sprouts and it grows and reaches towards the sunshine. Seeds are nourished by the rain. They're strengthened by the wind. And I'd like to take you to a time in your life when you felt good. Maybe you were playing a game as a little one. Maybe you were playing tag. Maybe you were playing hide and seek and you just didn't want it to end. Maybe there was a time when you picked up a good book and it was just too good to put this book down. Just had to go to the next page. Maybe there was a time that you were just so deeply involved in a project that you were making, a craft or a big project at work. I'd like you to imagine a time that you felt exhilaration. Maybe you were at an amusement park. Maybe you're on a water slide. Perhaps you're sledding after a snowstorm. And you feel that exhilaration, that feeling of being in the moment. It's thrilling, but you're not scared. Allow these feelings to come to you. Perhaps you remember being on a bicycle or rollerblades or roller skates. And you're coasting down a hill and you're going so fast. And maybe it's a little bit scary, but it's easy because you're just going. And the momentum is taking you and it feels good. I want you to think of some of these moments and just allow yourself to get a sense of these moments or to get a sense of a particular moment. A particular moment where your awareness was high, where you were completely present, where the past and the future didn't matter because it was safe to be here now, where your focus and energy were clear, and when you were 100% in all of your aliveness. Experience those feelings now. And I invite you to anchor them in, to pinch those fingers together, to connect that sensation of pinching those fingers together with the sensation of being completely present and clear and energized. And give yourself permission that you can experience and activate these powerful feelings. these healthy and positive waves of energy so that you can access them at will, so that you can activate something deep inside of you that is already there and just asks you to call on it, and to know that you can do that by pinching those fingers together. I'm giving you just a moment to bask in those feelings. And it is time to come back to the here and now. And I thank you for opening your eyes and coming back, because I know how good it feels to stay there. So I really appreciate you.